All right. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Thank you for joining. My name is Roger Katz. I'm the Assistant Director for Student Recruitment here at Hebrew Public. And we are having our virtual open house hosted by the leadership team of Hebrew Language Academy Charter School. And we're going to give families about another minute to jump on, and we will get started soon. Thank you, guys. So I think that has been about a minute. So I know we might have some more families jump on soon. It's going to be great. But I want to turn it over now to our head of school, Miss Daniela Steinberg, because we are going to kick it off now.
Thank you, Roger. Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm really excited to be here. I know this is not what we're all used to. I wish we were all together in the building, but still really glad that we can get together here and kind of talk a little bit about our school. So thank you for joining us. Get started. Great. So tonight, really the big goal here is so that we can give you some information about our school. You can get to know us a little bit and help you make a good choice and an informed choice about where to send your child to school. Great. Okay. So just to give you a little preview of what to expect tonight, our agenda, we'll talk a little bit about charter school and why you might choose one. We'll share some of our mission and values with you, which is things that we're really passionate about at HLA. We do have a mini virtual school tour, which is something that we would have done in the building where we show you around. And we have this really cool video where we get to show you parts of our school. My team will talk about curriculum and give you a chance to get some of that information. We'll go through some FAQs. And then at the end, I'll give you some information about how we communicate at our school and how we keep families engaged. All right, so most importantly, my amazing team that's here, I just want to introduce them all to you before we get started. So as Roger said, I'm Daniela Steinberg, I'm the head of school, and we have Kevin Morris Jr., he's our assistant head of school for middle school. I guess we could see people, you could wave. We also have our assistant head of school for operations, Lavette. She is here with us. We can go to the next. Great. We have Ben Coleman. He's our academic dean for math. Great. We have Maria Rosen. She's our academic dean for literacy. We have Cariato Odrago. She is our dean of culture for the lower school. And we have John Richardson. He's our dean of culture for the middle school. Great. Okay. So what's a charter school? So we are a public charter school. We're part of the Hebrew Public Network. And if in case this is new to you and your family, charter schools are tuition-free public schools. They're open to all. So there's no tuition. There are no admission requirements or entrance exams. So everyone's welcome to apply. The way that we choose the students is by a lottery, right? So everyone applies, we do a lottery, and that's how we determine who gets in. Charter schools are held to the same high standard as traditional district schools. So you'll hear very often that we talk about the DOE and things that they do because a lot of the things that we do are comparable to the Department of Education. And applying to a charter school does not affect your chances of getting into any other school. So you could apply to as many schools as you choose to. And when you're ready to make that decision, it's up to you. You can go to the next. Great. A little bit about our mission. Like I said before, it's something that we're really passionate about, and it's kind of why we do what we do every day. So Hebrew Public Schools are leading a national movement of exceptional, diverse public charter schools that teach modern Hebrew to children of all backgrounds and prepare them to be successful global citizens. So lots of stuff in here. We do teach modern Hebrew. That's a huge thing for us, and we teach it as a language. We have lots of great Hebrew teachers that bring passion and excitement to the language, and kids are really excited about it. It's nice to watch. That's something that makes our network and our school really special. And we also take great pride in raising our students to be global citizens in the world and to really contribute to society. That's something that we work really hard at, and that's our mission. Great. I also want to talk really quickly about our Olam values, and that is something that we instill in our students at our school in many, many different ways. Our network has chosen Olam, which is the Hebrew word for world. And Olam, it's an acronym. So O is outstanding problem solvers. The L is lifelong learners, the A is aware communicators, and the M is making a difference. And so those are the values that we instill in our students. We really try to ingrain this into all of our curriculum and our cultural events, and really just teaching them to be global citizens, like I said before. Just something that makes us special, once again. Next slide. Great. So, like I said before, we have this little video that we prepared. Actually, our team didn't prepare it. The external team prepared it, and we really appreciate that. And it's just a way for you to kind of get eyes in our school. We would love for you to come in person, but for right now, this is a great way for you to see some cool things that we have in our building. So we'll go ahead with that.
One second here.
The first stop on our tour is our main office, where you can find our operations team who can help with answering and supporting any questions our families may have. Our school leadership includes our interim head of school, Daniela Steinberg, assistant head of school for middle school, Kevin Morris, the assistant head of school for operations, Livette Robles, and our academic deans and deans of culture. HLA believes fully in the many benefits of learning a foreign language. Our students learn modern Hebrew. These classes are taught almost entirely in Hebrew. They also have the opportunity to learn about the culture and history of Israel. Each classroom at HLA is named after a city in Israel. And today we will be visiting the Yerushalayim classroom. Each kindergarten classroom is enrolled with approximately 30 students, a general studies teacher, and either a special education ICT teacher or an assistant teacher. Student-teacher ratios vary throughout the day depending on what subject is being taught. The convenience of a playground right outside the classrooms when students need to take a break foster collaboration, imaginative play, and teamwork. Students enjoy this space daily. Welcome to our gymnasium. This large space is often divided to serve multiple classes for physical education, but it is also used for hosting school-wide events. Our fitness program helps students develop and foster physical and athletic skills while teaching important lessons in teamwork and self-esteem building. HLA serves kosher breakfast and lunch for all students and snacks daily to students in grades K to 2. As a school that participates in the Community Eligibility Program, all students receive these meals for free. We are pleased to have a school nurse on site daily to administer medications and attend to any issues that might arise throughout the day. Next on our tour, we'll be visiting our second floor, where grades 1 through 4 are located. Our classrooms are comprised of approximately 26 students with one homeroom teacher, or in our ICT classes, a general education teacher and a special education teacher. Next stop is our third floor, where our middle school students in grades 5 through 8 learn. Our middle school students are taught by teachers who are experts in their subject area, preparing them to be successful in high school upon graduating HLA. They have opportunities to visit their lockers as needed and have technology available in each of the classrooms. Student support suites offer students a space to take a break, reset, reflect, and return to class ready to learn. The art room is a space for direct instruction as well as creative expression. The hallways and school events are often adorned with students' artwork. The science program is hands-on, and the teachers include experiments and cooperative group activities into their lessons. Thank you for joining us today for this virtual tour. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact us by calling 718-377-7200 or emailing us at info@hla.charterschool.org. Shalom.
Great. All right. So you. Oh.
Sorry about that.
All right. So you got a little taste of academics here at HLA, seeing some of the classrooms. So as a dean of math, I deal a lot with grades K through 8, and so does Miss Rosa Maria. We're really fortunate to have someone dedicated to ELA and math at the school, and we get to work with all teachers at developing their skills. Our ELA and math curriculum are aligned with New York State standards as well as Common Core standards. We are following the Eureka math curriculum as well as the Expeditionary Learning ELA curriculum, and they are personalized and differentiated by teachers. We also use map testing, which is a way to see student growth over the year and measure students' progress based on their growth. And students also get to partake in Hebrew classes, as you saw, science classes, PE, music, and art. And in the middle school, they had social studies class as well as, science, Hebrew, PE, music, and art. We also have dance class, which I don't know if it's on here, but it's taught by our very own Bosman. It's a very popular class.
Thanks, Ben. Like you heard, Ben just went over some of our curricular pieces. This is a sample of our elementary school schedule, and you'll see here components like morning meeting, which our Dean of Culture is going to speak briefly about in a little bit. Foundations, which is K-2. That's our instruction where we build the blocks for literacy with phonics. Guided reading, which breaks our students into groups on the skills that they require to continue their success in literacy. We are so fortunate this year that even though we have remote instruction, like Ben said, we're using NWEA and MAP fluency testing to determine reading levels so that we can continue on with that instruction. Eureka is our math component. We have readers workshop for K-2 and close reading for 3 and 4, which also, depending on like a genre, helps them build their literacy blocks, and writers workshop in EL, which then takes those components that we're learning in readers and close reading and gives the students an opportunity to respond to literature. And then our number stories, which is another component of math and science. And then you can see our specials are also built into our schedule. Thanks, Roger.
Of course.
As you heard, we have a middle school, which is on our 3rd floor. And one of the great things that sets us apart from other middle schools is that we offer a language regents. So for those students transitioning from 8th grade to high school, if they're able to be proficient in in Hebrew prior to the 8th grade, they're able to take the regents. And if they pass, this will count as one of their 5 regents in going to high school, which is something that definitely sets HLA apart. Also, in pre-COVID times and hopefully post-COVID times, we will offer a capstone Israel trip where select 8th graders will be able to take a trip along with staff members to Israel and tour some of the sites that they've learned throughout their time at HLA in their Hebrew classes. We also offer after-school sports such as basketball and volleyball. And a couple of pictures you saw previously, our basketball team is actually a winning team, which is something to boast and brag about a little bit. But like I said, all these are pre-COVID and hopefully post-COVID times that we will be getting back to our capstone trip, our after-school sports, as well as the Regents, because if you've been keeping up with things, the Regents was canceled by the state again this year. It was also canceled last year. However, students were able to get some credit, possibly going into next year for their language courses. So hopefully the state will offer that same thing this year going into for our 8th graders transitioning to high school. Thank you. Our next slide will look at a sample of our remote middle school schedule. This is not our typical schedule. This is, like I said, a COVID schedule. This schedule here that you see is one that a student would have if they were in our hybrid classes. So we have a cohort A and a cohort B. Cohort A attends school Monday and Tuesday. Cohort B attends Thursday and Friday. So this schedule would actually be the schedule that they would have if they were not in school, if they did not have a live instruction day. And so you can see we start at 8 o'clock and we end at 3:30 here, but we typically end about 2:30 with all of the classes, as you can see, social studies, math, Hebrew. We definitely make sure that we add in a lunch break, even though it is a lot of the instruction is asynchronous, which is essentially learning online without a teacher, whether it be via video or some of the assignments that teachers have assigned students through Google Classroom. So we want to make sure that we're still being rigorous in our instruction, and then we're still offering students a great program even during these times. And that is our middle school. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So at HLA, we are truly committed to serving the whole child. And a huge component of that is our social emotional learning. So with that being said, we have the morning meeting for grades K through 4. And during the summer, all of our teachers were trained in responsive classroom, which is really around like critical culture building. We want to make sure that we are engaging our students socially and academically. And each morning, our students gather together to interact in 4 purposeful components, which is a greeting, the share out, an activity, and a morning message that solidifies a purposeful and productive day. And I'm going to pass it to my counterpart, Mr. Richardson, who is going to talk a little bit about the middle school.
Thank you, Cotty. As Cotty noted, we are committed to social and emotional learning for kids through all grades. K through 8, and in the middle school we have a little bit different setup, but we do prioritize social and emotional learning as well. We have a morning advisory each morning and a smaller cohort. In these meetings, we cover things like our Olam Values, current events, and do occasional deep dives on holidays that are happening. Morning advisories are spaces to really prepare for the day, reflect on previous days, and kind of plan out the days ahead. Build community, engage meaningfully with teachers and with their peers. We also do weekly assemblies on Wednesdays where we expand on these topics and more. We also have our monthly Olam Awards. And in current times, hybrid students remain with the same cohort once they're in the building throughout the day, building strong relationships along the way. And remote students also have morning advisory and class throughout the day with the same cohort, but they do so remotely. Go ahead, next slide.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Hebrew. So when we think about the structure that we have at our school for Hebrew, it has been a little bit different during COVID because Hebrew teachers do teach online. When we had our hybrid students come into the building, we try to limit cross-pollination of teachers going around the building. And so the best choice for us was to have teachers teach live on Zoom on the days that kids are home. So on those days, they have a 30-minute Hebrew instruction period. The way that we teach Hebrew at HLA and at Hebrew Public is that we use the proficiency approach. It's just the way that they teach the language. It may be a little bit different from what some of us have learned in school. When I learned Spanish in school, we had a textbook. We had our teacher. We had to repeat things that they said. We had tests and assessments, and it was a certain way of learning. When I came to HLA and I saw how they taught Hebrew, it was super different from what I was used to. And it's actually quite remarkable. It's just like they expose kids to language in a way that they don't even realize they're being exposed to it. And suddenly they just start speaking Hebrew in a conversational way. I think it's really exciting and interesting. And so that's our approach to teaching Hebrew. The goal is to work in small groups. So at least having 2 Hebrew teachers that they could divide the kids into groups so that kids that may be proficient in Hebrew would be grouped together and then beginners would be grouped together. And that's the best way to kind of meet kids where they are. And they use lots of songs, picture books, games, just things that kids really relate to, and they don't even realize that they're learning. They're just having fun. So that's the way we teach Hebrew at our school, and I think that you would find that it's a lot of fun and your kids will really like it. Next slide, please. And we have a little video just to give you an example.
מותר לי לשב איתך במקום ללכת עם אמא ואבא שלי? לא, אני לא רוצה. את רחוק לאמא ואבא שלך. ואני יודעת, אמא לא תסכים. אבל זה לא פייר, כבר כולם אומרים לי לא. אל תדאגי, את יכול לבוא לבקר. אוף, אני עדיין לא חושבת שזה פייר.
Great. So just a couple things to note about that video. One student in that video is proficient in Hebrew, and the other student is learning Hebrew at our school. If things to pick up here is that no teacher was interjecting, and it's not only because it's a video. They were not correcting the students. They were not saying, no, say it like this, say it like that. It was a very natural conversation. So 2 kids at completely different proficiency levels were able to engage in this, and they were doing a great job. So. All right, so when we talk about special education services and ELL, so personally at HLA, part of my journey is I was an ICT teacher, and I was also the special education coordinator for a couple of years. So this hits pretty close to home for me. And so the way that we approach special education at our school is we really believe in an integrated approach. So we have ICT classes, for certain students that qualify for that, and for general education students, we just put them together, and we have 2 teachers, and it's a really great way to learn. We provide speech, OT, and PT for kids that qualify on site. Right now, they're virtual because of COVID, but we do offer all of those services in school. We also offer sets for students that qualify for that, and that is sometimes it's pushing into the classroom, and sometimes they may take groups out of the classroom. Of course, students that qualify for a paraprofessional, we always make sure that they have that service. We have a counselor as well. And for students that are learning English and are multi-language learners, we have teachers that provide that service in and outside of the classroom. Next slide, please.
All right, so we're going to quickly go over an operations overview. There are 180 days for our school year. We follow primarily the Department of Education's calendar for most of our breaks and holidays. We do offer Department of Education busing, which is provided to eligible students by OPT. So for students who have a bus mandate on their IEP, they receive door-to-door busing. And for other students who qualify for services, they can receive stop-to-stop busing. Our school hours during non-COVID are 8:45 to 3:30. And we do have a Department of Health assigned nurse on site. at all times when students are in the building. We offer free breakfast and lunch for all of our students. Students in grades K to 2 also receive a snack at the end of the day. We offer kosher meals, breakfast and snack daily. Hot lunch is also served every day. Right now, all of our students that are hybrid are eating in their classrooms. K to 2 typically will eat in their classrooms and go outside for recess. Middle schoolers come down to the cafeteria and have breakfast and lunch there. During recess, kids have access to an enclosed private playground for kindergarteners. There's a separate play space for our grades 1 through 8 students. And we also have a full-size gymnasium that you saw in our virtual tour and a performing arts stage that is utilized right now by our dance teacher.
So pre-COVID and hopefully post-COVID, we will be able to ensure that uniform is implemented with fidelity. Bottoms for boys are navy blue, dress pants for girls, navy blue skirt, jumper, or dress pants. Tops are solid white, solid light blue, solid navy collared, or a button-down shirt, blazer, sweater vest. The purpose of uniforms is to help stop distractions and to ensure that all families, regardless of socioeconomic status, feel at home at our school. And whatever you don't have, we definitely will work with you to supply.
And for our middle school, we actually changed the uniform to more of a dress code. We wanted to relax the uniform for middle school students, yet still keep a standard for them. So boys and girls can wear jeans and or dress pants throughout the week. Those jeans have to be jeans without holes in them. Girls can wear skirts and jumpers and dresses per usual. Also, they can wear leggings. However, the leggings must be accompanied by a skirt. Also, we do not permit sweatpants, and I know that's really big for middle schoolers this year is the sweatpants. I've often heard from parents that kids no longer like wearing jeans. I guess that's a generational thing. However, we do not permit sweatpants. We do have dress pants or jeans for students. Like I said, we did have a pretty strict uniform, and we wanted to kind of relax it a little bit in order to accommodate some of the student choice for middle school. Also for the tops, we have a solid white, solid blue, or solid navy top, and or any HLA wear. So we offer a number of different shirts, a Brooklyn shirt, we offer an HLA shirt, and I believe a sweater that has our school mascot, the hawk, on there. So we definitely permit that. We do not permit any other shirts that have any other logo such as Nike or Polo or anything else. It must be, as you see here, a solid white shirt, blue or navy blue, or anything HLA. Sweaters and sweater vests are all permitted as well. Once again, without logos whatsoever. And this was a change for this school year, and we actually have seen students adhering to the dress code a little bit better, actually a lot better than we have seen in the past in regards to the school uniform. So that's really encouraging to see that we did make a concession and yet still holding to the standard, and students have been responding to that. Thank you.
Livette, are you there? No? Okay. Oh,
I'm
there.
here. Sorry, I told you my internet's choppy in and out. Okay, so currently we're only working with Kavun, but that's due to COVID. In normal times, we also work with the Kings Bay Y. Last year we had Kids in the Game. Our intention for this school year was to offer an in-house after-school program where we were having our teachers provide after-school services such as academic support, arts and crafts activities. Due to COVID, we can't do that right now. But the Kavun program does come to HLA and pick students up at dismissal time and then transports them over to the after-school center.
So with this being such a different time for our students and families, it is extremely important that we bring joy. And so with our Spirit Days, we use that as a way for our community to come together, both remote and hybrid, just to experience joy through common interests like Flag Day and Pajama Day. We have Olam Awards, which are a way for our students to be acknowledged for exemplifying our values of being an outstanding problem solver, lifelong learner, an aware communicator, and someone who is making a difference in our community. We run Wednesday assemblies to foster joy and community with our staff and students. And one of the key end of the year events that we will be having for K through 4 will be our kindergarten virtual graduation. So get excited. I will turn it over to, again, my counterpart, Mr. Richardson, who will talk about some of the middle school events.
Thank you so much. And those kindergarten step-up ceremonies are always so adorable. Yeah, in the middle school, we do Olam Awards monthly as well. It does a really good job of spotlighting students who are living out those outstanding problem solver, lifelong learner, aware communicator, and making a difference, values that we try to uphold, and we try to spotlight a lot of students that live for living those values out. And we also do a lot of things in terms of various heritage months and cultural initiatives. For example, we celebrated and acknowledged November as being National Native American Heritage Month and did a deep dive on kind of what that is through morning advisories and through assembly dedicated to that as well. And then culture initiative for the month of November was a kindness initiative that was kicked off in the second week of November and is continuing on to the second week of December, and different ways of being nice to yourself, being nice to your peers, being nice to a friend. And so kind of building off each that with a theme for the week. And we also have a lot of other things. Of course, we celebrate the federal holidays, try to educate around those, and continue to increase awareness from Veterans Day to Martin Luther King Jr. to Labor Day to anything that comes up on the calendar. We try to make sure we help increase their knowledge and awareness, and also why we celebrate the different holidays that we do. And we also have end of the year celebration as well. Last year we had a YouTube premiere graduation, which was a lot of fun. Then we all gathered with the graduating eighth graders together on Zoom afterwards and had some time together to just have some celebrations that were fun and unique in their own way, especially given the times during COVID. So there's also additional things that we do when we're in a more normal year, but just want to be as transparent as possible as what we're able to do during a COVID situation. Thank you.
All right. So we'll talk a little bit about communication, but I think what I want to say is, first of all, it's really challenging because I can't see any of you. And I wish that we could, but I just want to say, like, our intention tonight was at least to hop on here and have you see our faces and share some information and kind of open that line of communication for all of you so that we can talk more and you can be in touch with us and let us know what you're thinking. I also want to say that we are in a very interesting time right now in the world, in New York City, and we've been doing the best that we can, like all schools have been. But we've had a couple of closures. As you know, like all schools closed recently, and now we're reopening, and it's been really rocky. But what I think makes us special is that we've really done our best for kids throughout this whole entire situation. Conversations always start with, like, what is best for kids? What can we do under these current challenging circumstances to help kids and families? Those decisions are not always easy, but we've really done the best that we could to get kids back in school and just have them learning and feeling supported and comfortable. We have many kids that have chosen remote, and we're doing the best that we can to support them at home. And I just think that that's what makes us stand out. And so we hope that you want to join our team. We hope that you want to join our community. And this is only the beginning. So we look forward to hearing from you. And that leads me to this slide. We have lots of different ways that we try to keep in touch with families, especially now that we don't get to see a lot of people. We send a weekly newsletter that has lots of information in it, and that's the way that we keep in touch. We also try to put lots of links in there, so keeping everything in one place to remind families, like, go here for this, click here for the schedule. We also have weekly newsletters from, actually every teacher sends their own now. And so as a family of HLA, every week you'll get a newsletter from your child's teacher. We also have lots of social media, which is the way of the world. And we try to keep in touch there too. So Facebook, Instagram, we have a parent group on Facebook. We use one call, so if we want to send out messages to all families or to certain classes, you'll hear this message that sounds like a robot, but sometimes I try to record my voice, so it's a little bit more personal. And we try to be really good at being responsive to emails. It's an expectation that we have for all of our teachers, and all of us try to really respect that and get back to you as quickly as we can. So that being said, we hope that this gave you some information. And I, like I said, I hope this really just starts a line of communication, and that you get to know our school. And you can call us, you can email us. We're really excited to get new students, and hopefully next year is just going to be way better than this year in the world. And as long as, everyone's healthy, I think that's really the most important thing right now. So thanks for joining us tonight. And we would like to answer some questions. I haven't really seen a lot of questions in the chat. Not really sure. Roger, did I miss any questions, or did you see any questions?
I can double check really quickly here as we go through. But I have a few questions coming in, and I will repeat this one, and I think answer this first one myself, is can we apply to each school in Hebrew Public's network of schools? And the answer to that question is yes, you can absolutely apply to 1, 2, or all 3 of our New York schools. And you'll be entered into each one of those lotteries if you do apply. You can visit our websites and click on the apply for the 2021-2022 school year and follow the prompts. As you create your application, you will see the option to click 1, 2, or all 3 of our schools. And so theoretically, that means that on the day of our lotteries, and our lottery for HLA will be on April, I believe it is Tuesday, April the 12th. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it's either the Monday or the Tuesday. It's on our website. That second week in April, and you'll potentially have the choice of deciding which school you want to go to. So the short answer to that question is yes, you are absolutely able to apply to each of our schools in the lottery. I have a few more questions that are coming in, and I will pass this one to you, Daniela. How many classes or sections for each grade?
Yeah, so Kevin answered that there. So we have at least 2 classes per grade. That's what it's been lately, sometimes 3. And so pre and post COVID, we have up to 30 students in the class. Right now, hybrid classes are way smaller due to safety measures. But that's kind of, that's what we typically have, 2 to 3 classes on a grade. Maria, we have a question about reading level assessments.
Yeah, I was just typing into the chat. We typically use a reading program called Fontes and Pinnell when we're in person to assess reading levels. This year, we are actually using our NWEA and MAP fluency testing, which is an online test that determines a reading level, and that's how we group our students for guided reading, which targets the skills they need in order to continue moving up reading levels and building their reading and comprehension skills.
And then there was one other question that came in that I wanted to address. And it was, how would a family know if their child has been accepted to HLA? And so when we do hold our lotteries, everything is digital now. So you'll have the opportunity to watch them live over the computer. But even if you're unable to watch our lottery over the computer, the second the lottery ends, we will send out an email to all families, and you'll be notified in the minute whether your child has received a seat for the 2021-2022 school year, or if they did not receive a seat in the lottery, what their wait list number is. And I guess the one other thing I would say is historically for families that don't receive seats on the day of the lottery, even if you don't and you are on the wait list, we do definitely go through our wait list and we do reach out to families. So, it might take a month or it might take a month and a half to get your offer, but we definitely do go through those wait lists. So don't be too discouraged if you don't receive a seat the day of the lottery. So a few other questions that came in. Livette, do you want to speak a little bit more about just the busing services to families? Is it for every family, K through 8, or how does it work exactly?
Bus services are offered to all students in grades K through 6. Students who have bus service IEP mandates are eligible to receive busing through 8th grade, as long as that mandate stays on their IEP.
Great. We have a few other questions trickling in, and I think I'm able to answer this next one. So one parent asked, do you have to live within New York City to attend any of our schools? The answer to that question is yes. So as long as you live in New York City's 5 boroughs, you are eligible to attend any of our 3 charter schools. And we had one more question come in. Where is the Kivun after school program located? Daniela, do you want to take this one, or Livette? I'm not sure who's best positioned to answer this question.
I don't know the exact location of the Kivun, so I'm hoping that Daniela has that information.
Yeah, it looks like she had to step away for just
I
a
do
moment.
know that they come and collect the students from the school, but I don't know what the address is. I think she might be giving that information to us right now. Looks like she had to get a charger. Thanks to technology.
Well, we can give her a few more seconds to come by. But I would just say again, for any parents that do have any more questions, please feel encouraged to submit them into the chat, and we'll hang around here for another few minutes. But otherwise, we just want to thank everybody again so much for joining us tonight. And we will continue to be sharing bi-weekly parent newsletters. So, even though you're not enrolled with us yet, you'll get to see all of the joy that is happening in our schools and as our students are learning remotely. And we hope that everybody is safe and healthy and has a great rest of the night.
Wait, Roger, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I had to plug in my computer and then it was black and I couldn't see anything. So sorry, everybody. Kivun is located, I think it's very close to our school in Georgetown. And so they pick up students and they bring them there. Right now, Kivun is remote, but they're still having their program. And then I saw one more question of how many children on the kindergarten bus. Buses are all the ages mixed depending on where you live.
At the current time, because of social distancing regulations that are being enforced on the school buses, we're seeing a lot less students. So possibly maybe 11 students at the most on a bus, but in normal times, we can have about 30 kids on a bus, 30 to 40 kids on a bus. And we have 11 school buses that run 11 different routes.
Thanks, Livette. So Roger, I think you sort of wrapped it up nicely, but I wanted to say, to echo what you said before, just thanking everyone for coming tonight. And most importantly, just stay safe. Kids and adults are going through a lot right now, but just we're all doing our best. So continue to do your best. And we hope that you join our HLA family. And just please reach out, call us, email us if you have any questions. And have a great night.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.